Last time we talked about the people. Today it's about the property and how it gets sorted. And I want to flag something right up front because this is where people get tangled. There are two different systems for classifying real estate. Two. They get taught back to back. They use some of the same words, and nobody ever stops and say, hey, these are two separate categories. One sorts property by why you own it. The other sorts it by what it's used for. 3 categories in the first one and 8 in the second one. Keep them apart. This is easy points. Blur them together and you'll miss questions you actually know. System 1. Why you own it. 3 categories. Residential. Somebody lives there. That's the whole test. And you can break it down further from there. How many families is built for? Whether it's attached to the neighbors or standing on its own. Commercial. Retail and office mostly, but it can include industrial too. Third, investment. An investment is a weird one. Investment property is property somebody holds to make money on it. It's not about the building. It's about why you own it. Which means investment isn't standing in line next to residential and commercial. It's sitting on top of them. Any kind of property can be an investment property. But there's one exception, and it feels backwards the first time you hear it. Your house doesn't count. And look, obviously, your house is an investment. In real life, it's probably the biggest one you'll ever make. But in this classification system, owner-occupied does not get called investment properties. So an apartment building, a condo, a co-op, a regular single-family house, any of those become investment property. And when it's residential and somebody's renting it out, there's a second name for it. Residential income property. Hang on to that. It comes back in a minute. Okay, so system 2. What's it used for? There are 8 categories. I'm going to give them in pairs because nobody remembers a list of 8. First up, residential and residential income. There's that phrase again. And that's your hint that these two systems are connected. Office and retail. Those are the 2 things people actually mean when they say commercial. Industrial, farm, and ranch. Stuff gets made and stuff gets grown. Land and special purpose. Land is just undeveloped ground. Special purpose is a catch-all. Parks, rec facilities, government buildings, churches, and schools. One more time, a little bit faster. Residential and residential income, office, retail, industrial, farm and ranch, land, special purpose. Now here's what I want you to notice. Investment is not on the list because investment isn't a use, it's a reason, a different system. Last thing, and this is kind of the detail a test writer loves. These categories aren't clean. Real buildings mix uses all the time. Think about it. A bank. There's a lobby where customers walk in. That's retail. And the floor upstairs where people actually work, that's the office building. And it's all in the same building. A distribution warehouse usually holds an office wing inside of it. A shopping center rents out an office space above the stores. So use these categories to describe a property. Don't treat them like rules that property has to follow. Here are your 3 questions. Does commercial include industrial? Yes. Retail, office, and industrial. Question 2. Where does a church fall? Special purpose. And question 3. Why can 2 identical duplexes on the same street get classified totally different? Because it depends on who owns them, One owner can live there and one owner can rent it out. Next time, our topic will be brokerage. What a broker actually gets hired to do and the different ways brokers specialize.